Yep. Okay. All right, good. It's okay.
Yep, view.
Yep. Okay, yep. Here,
Yeah. You want to admit these people, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if they can hear us, see how it's not
Yep.
even, your voice quality is. No. Can you hear us?
Yeah, yes. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, great. Hi, Paul, Wendy. Hi, Steve. How are you? We're waiting for Robin to arrive. She's a couple minutes behind in weather. Then we'll
Okay.
get started. Yeah, just give us probably about 5 minutes and we'll be rolling. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, great. Robin's on our way, but I thought we'd at least get started and get rolling. There's a couple of new folks that are here tonight, so we'll let them introduce themselves. And we'll just go quickly around the room. I think for the sake of those joining on Zoom, I can let the folks know that you were here at the last meeting and we can get into the meeting. Robin's got the agenda, and so why don't we just we'll go around the room, everyone can introduce themselves again, and then we'll go into our agenda, and we'll get get through the meeting. You want to start, Paul?
Hi, some of you know me, my name's Paula. Last name's Podgorski, I live up with Stanhope. And I've been living in the house since about 2020, but we were really close then, so I say 2021. As a trustee and also as a docent. So I normally give tours of the house. I also work with volunteers. I have several, I'd say, young teenage girls that I've been training. And I also was involved with the docent training program that we recently completed in the county. And I met 2 of those volunteers, 2 of the 6 that were interested in the house, helping us. So I work with volunteers, I do the tours, and I also organize the schools. And then of course showing up at the events.
And you get dressed.
Yes, I wear the period outfit that I made, and I enjoy doing that. I like history, so that's sort of my niche. I'm also a member of Outwarders Militia. So with them, I go to events such as like Monmouth, and recently went to Massachusetts to be at the 250th anniversary of Battle of Bunker Hill. So that was really exciting because we had battle reenactors there, and it was on the news, and we had like a man on a speaker like narrating the events, and they had a whole ton of tents set up, and it was great. So a lot of things like that when I can with Outrunners, and just do the same thing, dress up, cook outside, that is.
Great, thanks so much. I'm Derek Anderson. Some of you have met me last week. For those of you who did not, I was vice president of the Friends prior to the new commission. Ultimately, the president stepped down, and now I am in interim president, if you will, and been with the JVH 10+ years, and more involved on the facility side. But if I were to say, I would consider myself boots on the ground as far as whatever function needs volunteer work. My hours are a little bit difficult because I have a contracting business, so I'm usually early in the morning or into the night, which is okay with me. But that's that. Really looking forward to the new commission, and excited about the 250th, and also taking JVA to the next level. Thank you.
My name's Norm Penny, and I'm new here in Minster, Long Valley for 30 years. Moved into the hills, but I've always loved history. It's fascinating. Long Valley, I'm still presently treasurer of their land trust. We preserved about 8 acres of property. We owned a mill that was 1750. Something that attracted me. Your so you're I'm Sue Nanian, I'm currently the treasurer of Starbucks and which operates the cricket company and investing mission. Like everybody else in kind of history. And I'm looking forward to participating in any of the directives. Hoping as I can.
I'm Cynthia Crofton. I'm on the executive committee. Girls, I did also, and I've been very active with them a number of years. And I just love the history of this area, and I can't wait to get involved with the Vanderveer house because it's just a great place and one of the remaining houses in the footprint from the rooms. And so it's super important. And I really want
Yes, I am Ray Sanderson. I've been a trustee here at the Vanderveer House since 2014. I do talk to a lot of the school kids. My history of the revolution is quite extensive. I've studied both sides of the war. I'm a member of Lamb's Artillery. I've been with them for 25 years. I've traveled all over New Jersey and Pennsylvania and New York and elsewhere on reenactments and shows. I'm also chairman of the Branchburg Historical Commission. I've been on that commission for 25 years too. I'm still currently chairman, and I love working with kids. I've talked to over 1,000 kids at this house alone in the past years. School groups put on by myself and Paula have worked out really well. We've got the kids here, like 300 kids at a school year at various stages, and they walk away here impressed. And I've got many numerous letters from the school themselves mailed to me, and the Vanderveer School is a very important school. My niece works there, and she makes those days that every year come here. So it's nice to have her. Yeah, thank you.
My name is Renee Moreski. I live here in the hills. I've been on Bedminster Township Committee for 7 years, and I've been the JVH liaison to the committee. But I'm super excited to now be on the committee and more of a working part, although I did whatever I could to help these guys out, especially during the day, because I work a full-time job like a lot of people. But this is going to be so much more exciting. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm glad all you guys are here too. My name is Lauren. Here, I am the middle school principal over at school. I also live with the story about some friends. I'm a Scout leader. Last time I came here was as a Cub Scout leader, but there's no. But we would certainly like to partner more as a school district with missions, landmarks, anything that's going to keep the people together.
I apologize, I was late, I got stuck in that storm on 287, it was at a standstill. My name is Robin Ray, I'm the township administrator, and just kind of having the transition, so. That's already.
Yep.
Well, I guess if you don't mind, if everybody on Zoom can just say a couple words, introduce yourself, that'd be great. Can you hear me?
Sure. Do you want me to start or?
Yes, please.
Okay. So my name is Paul Muir. I'm the current director of external affairs for the Morris Museum, also the president of Preservation New Jersey. Previously, I was executive director of the Red Mill Museum Village for 9 years. So looking to bring that experience to help complement all of the things that you bring to Jacobus Vanderveer House and working with you. I do apologize that I'm not in person. Mayor Jacobs knows me because I'm also a mayor, and we had a tree down. My OEM coordinator called in DPW. It seems like the storm has subsided, but we're a small town, so I stick local usually when storms start to hit. So I'm here, happy to join via Zoom, and look forward to a productive meeting.
Hi, my name is Wendy Hickey, and I am the chairperson of the Bedminster Township Historic Preservation Commission. I am so excited to also join the JVH group, and I know that we have wonderful things in store for our community.
And I'm Steve Parker. I was on the township committee for 9 years, mayor for 6, and a longtime supporter of JVH.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the new folks that are here. Just to give you an update, just some housekeeping. I know, Robin, there was a question about the donation from the Matthews family, and a letter did go out in appreciation to them directly. And I'll check in with Leslie on that because she had asked me if that did happen. And I did follow up on that.
So do you want me to just tell, so everybody understands, the room that we
Yes.
have that's downstairs, it's a gold, like a library room, he donated that, and then his wife, Rich Matthews, who was the township historian at the time, and he recently passed away, so he gave his sizable donations.
You gave a great, very generous donation. And through the transition, there's some housekeeping that's coming out. I'd like to try to get back to folks right away, and at least get back to the committee, any of those questions and with answers. So please feel free. I can make sure that my cell number is on the email, but please give me a call. Happy to meet in person, or if you have questions, you can email me or give me a call myself. So just to go right into the meeting, on the transition, Craig Sutherland, unfortunately cannot be here. He's on family vacation, but I've spoken to him today, and he is working on the transition of moving from the JVH Friends over to the town, along with the banking. He's in talks with an attorney, so we're getting that whole process moved over and transferred over to the town. So he is working on that. Next meeting, he'll be able to give us an update on where things stand. And that just gives you an idea on that. He's working on those items. So that would be the banking end of things, and also the grants and what we have and the status of those grants and how they're being, secured for upcoming events.
The trust fund account has been approved, so the funds, we have set up a trust fund, a dedicated trust at the township, which is separate from the township funds. It's strictly for JVH and have to be approved by the state, and it's been approved, so it's been set up, so.
And just so everyone knows, there's a barn project that we're working on, and then there's, I'll just say, general operating account. The barn project is restricted and can only be used for the barn. And as Robin said, just to make sure, that account will be used strictly for the barn project. I think since that's a bigger entity and we have some other things that are more pressing in our calendar, we will probably maybe be working on that behind the scenes, but to give everyone an update at the meetings when we do have our monthly meetings, so everyone has an idea. But to get everyone involved at this point, as I said, I think there's some more pressing things on the calendar that we need to address and make sure that they are taken care of. And then in tandem, we will be working on the barn as well. So that's it as far as the account is concerned, or the accounts and the grants. And next meeting, Craig will give us an update. So why don't we go right into Paula, and Ray may have some comments as well as far as the school programs. Paula, I think we can wait and then speak to Robin either later on as far as those costs, on what the costs are associated with that. But if you could just give everyone a treetop on the program, that'd be great.
So, okay, usually have one in October and in sometime in April. So the October one, since I've been working on it, has been a manual school. And then last year we were also going by school, which is like a very small group. And then in the spring we have the Vanderveer school, which is from some, and then in the spring as well, we have the American Christian school. So we have one private school and one public school for each. We just worked out that way.
Did we set up a date in October?
No, because it's kind of on hold.
Yeah,
I didn't do it, but I did reach out this week. And I do have the usual folks that can make it. It's just now at this late date trying to converge it so that they can all make it the same day. So the biggest issue is I haven't heard back from the man in school yet, and I'm sure it's because it's the summer and she has to probably ask the other teachers or whoever's in charge, what day. But historically, we've always had it around the same time as weekend journey, so right around the middle of October. I believe it was the 16th. Last year, this year it would be the 15th. So that's kind of the date I'm going to, although I gave her several dates to choose from. When I eventually hear from her, I'm hoping she'll say she can the others to make it as well. So what we normally have is we have my blacksmith friend come, and he sets up outside, and he does that outside, and we have Noah, his character's name is Ned, but his real name is Noah, and he portrays an African American soldier who fought on the American side. And so he does a presentation for about 15 minutes to the whole group in the beginning, and they sit under the tent in chairs that we the tent is provided by the towns. And so he'll give that presentation, and then we split in the whole amount of kids into groups, and they go to stations. So the blacksmith is one station, Ray and another friend Paul went to a musket demo, that's another station outside. Then we have the house, we have the kitchen, we have the spinning ladies in the kitchen, we have the lace ladies. I usually do the tour of the parlor. Since we're not gonna be touring the upstairs, we'll probably just be the downstairs one. So we have 3 stations in the house, and 3 stations. So that's artillery drill, or get your tents and keep your surrounding jobs, and then it's very fun. I'm not explaining it very well, but he does that. So they rotate through the stations, and it gives us another couple hours, and we end up going from about 9:30 to about 11:45 minutes a week. So in the past, we haven't charged for it. We just we have leaves last spring, we started having information just to defray the cost, which I don't think is reasonable, being that I used to teach 13 years ago, and at that time I was paying for a field trip. So I'm assuming, it's gone up a little bit since then. So I don't think asking $5 each is too much to have.
But isn't that what the clap grant goes to?
It does.
And the lady, Ms. Galbraith, said she's gonna ask them if they can get more. So we'll see what happens. Maybe
There is a little bit of an issue in that school because they don't have their own buses, and we have to rent the buses. That's an extra cost for them. And I believe they need parents pay for the buses. So I could understand charging them. So we could talk about that. But anyway, I don't have a date. I'm hoping it'll work out for October 15th. And I have all the other demonstrators, lace, spinning, the blacksmith, they're all set up, and Noah too. He's also a bit of an expensive.
Let's make sure, I think the main goal here is this program, and that's really part of what JVH is about, and to try to spread the word to the class, to the students. So if there's anything that anybody comes back to and says, geez, we're having a tough time meeting our patient with buses or whatever, let's just let us know, it's something we can work out. We'd like to get maximum participation from the classes. So if there's anything that gets, in the way of that. And I think at this point, from Paula's presentation, just so everyone knows, some of the folks here have been part of this and understand what goes on. I think through the next couple of meetings, you'll probably get a sense of the house and how this committee is going to move forward. And I would ask that you just look and see, everyone has good intentions. But I think even you're gonna look through these meetings and possibly find a committee that you might want to be part of. Just understand that, if you volunteer for a committee, just try to be present. And I say that very lightly. I'm not passing any judgment, but I think it's just important because there's a lot that goes into the programs, the events, and that sort of thing. So if clearly we are blessed to have everyone, but if you find yourself that you might work better in a certain capacity than other, then that's perfectly fine. And I think for those that have been on board and been on committees, you know what I'm talking about. So as we'll get back to everyone with the school programs and where we need help. Generally, it's the day of. Jason from the DPW is very helpful setting the tent and getting chairs. Usually there's a morning rush of getting chairs set up, getting the station set up, and then things calm down, and then it's breakdown in the afternoon. But we'll get back to everyone with a volunteer list so you can sign up, and if you're available, that would be terrific. But Paula will head that, and she's on an email thread, so please feel free if you have questions.
So do we have a date?
We're shooting, not definite.
I'm shooting for October 15th, but I did give some for school.
So October 15th is the day we're shooting. Would that be too soon for Bedminster School to come?
It was,
Too
for
short?
us, we don't have to deal with buses, I believe, we can walk here. I just don't know how many additional students you
How many are in the fifth grade?
can, it's for fifth grade. 60 kids.
So what I would say is if you could find out, I'm so glad to meet you, Lauren. If you could find out if that's dates available, if it is, and it's just those 60, we can still go forward with the school day. If Manville can make it on that day, then we can make it a full day program and perhaps have
Morning and afternoon.
your school come in the afternoon.
Do it twice.
Now, we could do that, we just have to pay more for the actor and, you know, more for we usually give the demonstrators a little stipend of $100 each. That's what
We can-
do. But we can.
And Ned Hector.
I believe this. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. But anyway, I mean, then, but what if Ned says they can't come on the 15th? You know what I mean? Like, what if they say the week before, then?
If
Well-
you just tell me the date, then I can see.
Why don't we put the date out there and we see the participation, then we can make a decision. And if we get everybody for that date and then we have to go into an afternoon session, then we'll accommodate that. We'll do what necessary what we have to. Because it'd be great to have the participation, so why don't you, Lauren, and you and Paula just get on the email or get each other a number before we wrap.
I did add, but I'll send out an updated list to everybody with everybody's contact information. So you have it.
Willow also did confirm the 15th.
So that's great.
So, yeah. No, it's a good program.
It's great. Generally, kids, the only thing that I see is if we don't have weather, do we need to set up and install transportation to get from Bedminster to here, from the school to here? Because if you're walking,
Yeah, that's another.
okay.
We do it for a school district, I mean,
So just in case, maybe we can have that in the ready so we know on that way, because the tent is here and generally the stations are in the house are obviously.
So far, we've been lucky on it, but one correction, we do rent the chairs, and I didn't reserve them yet, so.
That's fine.
We can handle
I
it.
don't, that's a problem, so we can figure that out.
You guys need the chairs? Okay, that would be a big help, I guess, yeah.
I will tell you in the past what we've done with the different schools. We did it with Bedminster School, we did it with Manville School years ago, was the Platt Foundation paid for the bottom. Yeah.
yeah, I believe too, through our bus company, we have up to like 4 free trips. So that would be a backup trip.
We have to be able to speak to somebody, I know we're very and insure the bus, company, so we can check with them as well. They are, okay. All right, well,
We have a new bus company as well, you know, yeah.
we can figure out,
I
and make
was
sure,
worried on that. Yeah.
we can figure out and just make sure that we have that covered, just in case, so that way we have a plan. in case.
60 students. Like 50 to 60 students.
Even if it's just your school and Willow, it's still a pretty good sized group.
Yeah, and the other thing to consider is if Manville can't come to one, maybe we could do 2 grades. You know, I don't know how many kids come because our current, none of our students in middle school come here.
Oh, okay, so then you
So-
expand it to the 67, because they have a big chance.
Well, and 6th grade aren't coming back, it's 5th graders. Gotcha. But if you wanted to fill the state kids, we could.
That'd be great. That'd be terrific. Okay, great. So any questions on the school program? Any questions for Paula? Anybody on Zoom? You guys okay? Any questions? All right, good. I think we're going right in, turning to the past. We've got to see, I know that's set at the same time as Fall Fest?
So Journey Through the Past is 10 to 5 on Saturday and 12 to 4 on Sunday. Saturday is the Township's Fall Fest, which gets about 5,000 people. It's very hectic with parking this summer, one in, out, another, as opposed to out and in. So I guess you just need to figure out what type of activity that you want to do that day. And so, because you have to go for a journey through the past, I don't know, what you do last year? Just
We did tours, we served refreshments, we did hot dogs, you know, we had, tours going on, you know, in the house, we had pretty good participation. We had, once the parking from Fall Fest ended up out here, people were kind of breezing by. We also, at our table at the Fall Fest, we were letting people know to try to gain some interest to get people over here. So we had good participation. Yes. Yeah, we had a band. I don't know timing wise on that, but we'll do what we can. Right.
And they're interested, so.
That's terrific.
And he said.
Great. That's fantastic.
General reenactor that I reached out to, just because people are starting to reach out, because it's been in the news with the Vanderveer house. So a woman put me in touch with a historical reenactor. He did during COVID. He worked with George Washington from American Historical Theater, and they did. He's based out of does a lot of stuff at Chronicles Tavern Museum in New York. He did Washington's Goodbye, and I'll send everybody the link so you can check him out on video. He's about $400. He said he would charge us for the full day at Journey Through the Past, but that means you still have to do something for Sunday. He could do both, but you know, Weavers and other people as well. Kim Hanley from American Historical Theater, she does an incredible school presentation with Betsy Ross as well. It's very interactive. Just people that would come if I'm not sure, just trying to spitball some ideas to fill up 2 days of activities, we could do it.
Perfect.
They might be able to comment on that.
Does it just make sense to save the money and just do, because right now we're really just using friends' money. We don't have any money generated yet, trust, but does it make sense just to have the house open for tours and just make it a hayride stop on the? We're trying to come up with something that's less expensive, but just getting people through the house.
It's a little bit, when they play, the whole time you use this whole, you know, great bass, banjo.
Like we always have good participation. People set up lawn chairs, they come out for that. And ultimately, they're going through the house. So why don't we, that's a good point. Why don't we look at the band? We can see about the reenactor, about General Knox. I don't know, maybe that's something that we just, yeah, for another time. So,
Okay.
All right, good.
Just a couple of thoughts. Other things, I don't know if you want to do it this weekend or not, but you could always reach out. Like this, well, spinning ladies and ladies. There's like in the fire pit, like I don't know if it'd be appropriate to go with people there, but we did in the past for Christmas. So we could possibly do like an after four-day cooking demo where I could cook something because I have like a 18th century ironware.
Right.
The Dutch oven and the, you know.
That'd be cool.
But I can't do tours and cook recipes at the same time.
So you have to figure that all out.
I just did it down in Mom and I did it. It was so hot. It was just so hot.
So one we.
And they can give us a good deal. 1 or 2 of those days.
Right, maybe one of the days where I don't know, do you think it'd be better to have it during fall fest or have it the other day?
I really don't.
Okay.
I'm just at the point where anything outside will get people to come in, right? You really just want to get people through the house. That's the big thing. Just get
One
people
thing that we
out.
do right now, and look at things to where you see that's okay. If you could check with them to see if they want some.
Band would be inside,
No, they're all.
right here, or?
They're usually set about who's attending.
And then you have docents in the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, to do the tour,
They do tour, like they. Like revolving tour every,
right.
20 minutes or so.
Self-guided, there's when people want to go on their own, so like that, or my little assistant, Cassandra, oh, the next tour, if you want that, is whatever next. So I usually post when I make volunteers in the kitchen, and then people tell them about the self-guided tour, and then say to the next guy, because I might be in the other room, so yeah, especially if it's just me, you know.
And no charge for the tours.
Yeah, I think we just took donations.
Yeah, just donation.
We took donations, just so everyone knows, we took donations for the tours in the house at Journey Through the Past, and we also just did donations for the hot dogs. I think we've had hot dogs. We had self-serve. It was just basic for folks. Yeah, yeah. And we, yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, we made money on it, so if that's something that, you know, we can make this, it's not a big deal. Literally hot dogs and buns and self-serve, but anyway, we'll figure it out. Yes, please. That'd be great.
It would probably be Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be terrific. And then that would be great. Okay, so that covers all, that's covers school programs. So, there's two other things that are kind of pressing on our calendar, and that would be Colonial Christmas and the 250th. And those are, obviously, those are big for JDH. Some of you have been in the past, and for those of you who haven't, the house is really wonderful during Christmas. So we are looking for a chairperson for both those events. The 250th obviously is a very big event, and it's going to take a lot of effort on a lot of volunteers, and so I'm not sure if people are prepared at this point to sign up for Colonial Christmas, the chair of Colonial Christmas. Sometimes we do a co-chair, so two people kind of are the driving force for that.
Yeah, I think it's a
So-
little, I think you're probably what Rutland wants to do for Colonial Christmas. Or
Right.
try something different. So the model has been in the past where it's been a school day. That's when we did the school days on Thursdays. Friday, the house was just open. And then Saturday and Sunday, the house was open. And it was vendors and artisans and people that were, all the reenactors staged throughout the house. So it was a 4-day event. It was a lot of work. And had a cocktail party thrown in between. That model didn't seem to work anymore. So trying to come up with a new model, I think, is what this group is to figure out what's the best way to get people in the house. I don't know if it's a fun, if it used to be the signature fundraiser that would bring in between $60,000 and $70,000 a year, and that has changed significantly. So it's just deciding how you want to do it. We added a tree lighting to the event, 2015. To add the tree lighting just to make it more the event, to get a different set of people to the house to visit. But I think you just have to figure out what the model is going to be, and then maybe people will feel more comfortable jumping in and taking over on, spearheading that.
Right.
So.
I know as Robin said, the tree lighting obviously is house driven, but because of location, but really it's turned into a community event. So a lot of folks, generally it's a very good turnout. We do hot chocolate, warm pretzels. And there again, we do, we do donations, but it's really the way we do cookie decorating. So the kids come through the house, there's the station set up. So that works really well. But to Robin's point, it's a series of days, or used to be a series of days that are tree lighting, and then different vendors that are set up throughout the house. So there's tours, and people ultimately will come through to the different vendors. and do some shopping, and that then gets, a portion of that gets donated to the house. And then it, also a cocktail party with, it just depends, light fare, wine, and then there's, a period bartender that comes and has period cocktails. So I don't know if we wanna kind of mull on that, if you will, and see if somebody's, interested.
So what worked, I've come the last 2 years, it's always my anniversary weekend, so my husband takes me away, so what was it like the last 2 years?
So the participation, ended up being the board and then close friends of the board. We were having a tough time getting traction outside of that.
So I mean, the actual tree lighting, that's really what it went back just to a tree lighting, right,
Correct.
to house school,
Yes.
right?
It went through
And
two
how did
ways
that
now.
go? How did
It was
that?
fine, it's good participation, but it doesn't bring the money that we really, when we look at that, if that's gonna be filled with something else, we need to figure out, those avenues or areas that we can, rely on, or at least be ingenious to be able to, get donations.
Yeah, do you want it to be a moneymaker or just a awareness?
Um,
And that's probably a conversation you need to have with everybody.
right, in the past.
We need to start working now.
Right, in the past, it was the conversations, they kind of circled around the cost of what it costs to hire a catering company, staff, food, all that stuff, and then how much we had to charge to actually make money. So I think that, I think the event definitely has some traction. It's a matter of being ingenious on, maybe it's an auction of 5 or 6 items. I've been to charity events recently up in Newport in Rhode Island, and I thought it was very well done. They actually had a curator or an auctioneer, and they were able to auction, there were 6 items. So we would go out and garner those 6 items, say a golf event, foursome at Trump, or whatever the case is. And then they would go up for auction. And that money would go towards the house, along with, if we decide if we're gonna, I know in the past we've used Metropolitan to cater the event, and they've done, then we've chosen the menu, but that's part of what the committee would do. So,
That model has seemed to have failed.
Um,
It's just not as popular, people don't want to spend money and stuff like that, so I think at the first meeting that we just had, Leslie and Jeannie were commenting that we need to just shake it up, right? This is a new organization, breathe some new life into the event by shaking it up, making it a welcome party or something along those lines. Everybody, the whole community is invited to come to the house and not focus on fundraiser, but get to know the community, right? I mean, that was just one of the things that were thrown around at the last meeting, so. I don't know, I'm just trying to think about what would be the right, maybe Paul, from his museum experience, would be able to weigh in, what he thinks, I don't know, Paul, what works in the museum industry these days?
Well, I mean, I agree. I think trying to reinvent the event is interesting. I like, Derek's idea too of the auction. So I was thinking maybe combining them. We'd started a festival of trees at the Red Mill. Might be something that works in this neighborhood, but also getting then, because there's a lot of local businesses, maybe we auction the trees because they have the golf outing on the tree or something. So I was kind of pondering some ideas as I'm listening to what you're doing. I mean, I love the idea of a welcome party, but if we have a welcome party and we have the capacity of individuals here, maybe we can get them to also start to become accustomed to supporting the house.
I like it.
I think that's a great idea, because from where we've come to where we were in the last couple of years to now trying to regenerate some more interest and inviting the whole community. And then we figure out what that, what that fare would be, whether it's, some light hors d'oeuvres, whatever the case is, but that way it gets everyone involved in the community. It's invited on a community-wide basis. And I think that would be great to get some real, a groundswell of interest from the community, and some would bet, that would have a traction.
So I'm just looking at dates, right? Typically, people are pushing to get everything decorated around Thanksgiving, right? They're pushing to get their trees decorated, so a lot of the tree lightings are. And Thanksgiving is when you may have house guests, you're looking for something to do with your house guests, they're here for an extended weekend. I know it was always tough on us to do colonial Christmas starting the day after Thanksgiving, but it did seem to work. We seem to get a lot of people out because they're around that weekend. So maybe you do your tree lighting that Friday, the day after Christmas, and
It's great.
and just kind of that way
After Thanksgiving.
the Friday after Thanksgiving, just do a tree lighting because everybody's around and they're looking for something to do with their friends. And then if you want to do something on Saturday, which include, families are looking for things to do. We've got a lot of young families in our area, and the children are always like, the school, the kids come here, they get excited about the school. And I think, Derek, you might have even mentioned this, that kids go through the school days and then they want to bring their parents back, right?
Yes.
So,
Maybe the choirs want to.
yeah, do something on that Saturday that, bunch of activities, whether it be up here, you do gingerbread house making,
Yes.
or, something along those lines. It kind of kicks off the holiday season, but it's not so overwhelming for everybody right off the bat. There's a lot of people that have not seen how this has worked. It doesn't have to work the way it always has. It could be something completely different.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, question. The tree lighting, is this the official tree lighting for Bedminster, or is there another tree as well?
No, that's it.
Okay, so I think it's a phenomenal opportunity. Some other ideas I can, as we get into it, I can start to share some of those.
That's great. That's what we're all about, is
Other
brainstorming.
churches in the community have tree lighting as well. The church.
So Pluckman Presbyterian does often compete with a lot of the stuff that we have, but I have their calendar of events because this is their 175th anniversary this year. They're celebrating it simultaneously with the 250th of the nation. And so I keep thinking Bedminster, but it's bigger than that. And so I have their calendar. I don't know when they're doing their tree lighting. But they do
In December. The 30th, Sunday. And that's when they church, so we be first.
Yeah, just think it's a simple,
I
people are here.
I think they do a free lighting on Saturday and have more of meet Santa, pictures with Santa, more family make ornaments for Saturday. And then have, I don't know, we would call it Christmas open house for the community. For Saturday night, and we could do a lighter fare, and maybe have the period cocktail makers. They're always a good draw. I mean, I don't know, that seems like it has good, good traction.
That's the same day, the same day as the tree lighting. That's normal, yeah.
So you're saying do that on Friday?
They'll do the tree lighting on Friday and then the activities on Saturday, like the Christmas open house.
2 days.
So the tree lighting is strictly just a tree lighting and the house can be open for tours, and then the next day you do family activities at the house.
We could do hot chocolate and stuff with the tree lighting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could still do that.
That goes over big, and when have a fire pit going. So why don't we have candles, so why don't we potentially do that for Friday? And then we'll warm up to the idea of the kids' day, family day, get the community involved, and then we can fine tune the event on Saturday night and figure out, maybe get a better idea on ideas on what would be good. I've been involved in a number of, almost all the colonial Christmases that have been, well, since I've been around, and I cut my teeth under Robin and Leslie, so I would consider myself a semi-pro.
So tree lighting would be then, shooting for November 28th for the
Right.
tree lighting. Now, the tree's dead outside,
Jason, he's working on that.
right? So we're working on securing a new tree.
Right.
It wouldn't be planted until we get through this icky weather.
Right, so I'll continue to work with Jason.
Okay.
I'm sure you will, we'll make sure that that's taken care of.
It would be great to have some kind of like new, something we can show, even if it's just a one month or whatever, like, remember, a few years ago, we had that letter. No, the letter that Washington wrote to y'all, that was a letter, and it was on display, like something new that you could say, oh, we're gonna feature this, and then people come out to see it, you know. I don't know, especially, and going forward into the 250th, I think we need some pictures, I'm just saying.
Can we talk about some of this belt buckle and stuff at Colonial Christmas, like a while ago? It's not, are we talking about bringing out the belt buckle and those things?
Yeah, something.
At Colonial, because we've done. Because now that we have that room, wonder if that would be a big draw for Saturday.
Maybe somebody could call Christy Todd with me again.
Yeah, that was Craig. Craig and I went over there. She just took it off her wall and handed it to me. I was like, sure, Mayor Parker has some good contacts over there. But not to put you on the spot.
I can barely hear you, so if you volunteered me for something, I don't know yet.
We were just talking about some sort of a special exhibit for, you know, the Christmas event, whether it be a letter that Christine Todd Whitman has that she went to the Friends several years ago, or the charter that we have at Town Hall, or the belt buckle, something along those lines might be of
Oh, yeah,
interest.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, so we can work on that.
All right, great.
So I think we.
How many members do you have? And what do you?
So that hasn't been, oh, sorry.
No,
Oh, shut up.
jump in. No. It's all there.
Because he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering, because,
It's not a
you
very,
like the trend,
it's not a very active program.
membership, but isn't that pretty important? I mean, well.
It's
is that
not-
how you-
When you say membership, like we have the board and then we have an email list of people that have come to different events and have supported the JVH, but it's not like a membership. There's no. Well,
We are like 3 different levels of membership, right? Yeah. In the last 3 or 4 years, that's been done. We tried to change them, make them more palatable, change what we were giving them. Because I think we were giving like 4 tickets for events, but we didn't have any events that needed tickets anymore, so like the parameters kept changing. And then it stopped, and we stopped talking about it.
yeah, it's just difficult. The museums, I don't think we're alone. We're not alone. And Sean, who's not here tonight, he has shared with us that, you know, the museum community, it's a challenge.
Yeah,
So it's something that.
I mean, we've managed to grow at the Historical Society, we actually have a pretty good membership now. We don't charge, I mean, we have a range of things we charge, not that much. But then, you know, like you're talking about some of the events, and you could have a new members event,
Welcome party, right?
and that would be a free kind of welcome kind of
I
thing.
think it's a great idea. I think people are inclined to want to support the house.
Yeah, and then.
You don't like it?
I already put your name down next to Matt.
We complicated and it's something that we could also been. Nobody's had the idea of floating around in this room for so long that you might just take a couple of sparks from you and we'll pick it up.
I mean, it does tend to. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's kind of the lifeblood of an organization.
There's no doubt. You know, I think for us, as simple as when we were out in, I know, New Jersey in the past, we thought, oh geez, we'll set up barbecue and serve hot dogs. I mean, people were giving $5 and $10 just as a donation. We never thought, and those couple days, I mean, we probably made $1,000 in hot dogs. You know, so it's something that you wouldn't think it, but
Revolutionary.
there were other areas that were dwindling in interest, but we were trying to be ingenious as to other ways that we can, raise money for the house.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I'll pull it out that committee list, so there was there were bylaws, there were committees, everybody was divided out to subcommittees and had something that they worked, right? This is still new, figure out how to do it. The first thing is just to hit these calendar of event ideas, I think, right? We need to get a calendar in place.
Yes.
Open, and then I think the rest is gonna start to come. We don't have everybody here because of vacations. We knew that, but we just need to get some of these calendar things worked out. But I think, going forward, you'll have to, come up with who's gonna be your chair, your overall, commissioner for the commission. We need a vice commissioner. We need a treasurer that will interface with the township, treasury system that we have in place, our finance department. And then you'll need a secretary to do minutes. I'm gonna do them now, but going forward, you'll, you need to find that. And then all of that stuff, how we structure committees, if you wanna go back to like what the Vanderveer house did, that's fine too. Just whatever everybody decides, to put all those, important pieces together in order to make the organization think. Right now, your goal is just to tackle some calendar items, right?
Right, yeah, we want to set up the short term and the big picture.
Yeah.
I think the 250th is really important. But it seems like there's some good interest in the going Christmas. And we can further that, into our next meeting. But I think we still have time to have a good event. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely, there's plenty of time.
yeah, I think we're okay with that.
Just locking in the dates.
Yeah, and I think it seems like those dates are good dates. And generally, so everyone knows, we generally put out there a volunteer, board or a calendar, so. And you just fill in where you can volunteer at those events. And whatever it may be, clean up, set up, whatever the case is, so.
So can I ask you on the 250th is the next thing?
Yes.
The 250th, the Somerset Hills Historical Society, what are they doing for the 250th, if you don't mind? Like, what have you heard from the county? The county is heading up for all of
Well, they put me in sort of in the lead on America 250.
Okay.
So, we have had one event which we were calling the kickoff. And that was July 6th. It was speakers panel at the Brick Academy. So, we didn't get that many people. We got maybe 25 to 30. But, the Brick Academy is not that big, so it still looked pretty full. But the speaker was the national expert on Washington Revolutionary Trail, the 700-mile trail that came through here. And this speaker was actually quite entertaining. We had to pay him, we actually got a grant from Somerset County for it. It was only $2,000, but they were looking for people to apply for a grant, so we got it. And I think it went well. The other speaker, not so great, but the one who was the national expert was quite entertaining. And I think people enjoyed it. So that was kind of the kickoff.
Have you attended any county meetings yet?
Well, we went, that was kind of a county thing.
Yeah.
Stu and I also were, responsible for August, representing the Historical Society August 2nd at Merritt Valley Community College, where I think it was the Somerset County Historical Society had put on what they call the membership. And, we really expected something more than what happened. I think Sue counted about 5 people that presented who showed up. And it was 4 days, 4 hours. So it was really kind of a bust. That was, but yeah, we're a partner with Revolution, Rev and J, Revolution and J, So, and then I have also, I'm supposed to sit on the Burnersville. We have somebody from the board sitting on the Burns Township, America 250, they have their own 250 committee. I don't know if that's something we have at this point. These townships, some of the townships have their own committee. So I'm supposed to also sit on the Burnsville one. But that nothing has happened here yet. Nothing has really happened.
So that's the same thing we're finding. So we all signed up within Bedminster Township. The Township Committee passed the resolution that they would support Revolution New Jersey. I'm on a mailing list as the contact for the municipality. I've only received one piece of correspondence, but they are gearing up to do things. So we'll just kind of keep funneling everything. I was speaking with the mayor about this whole process. He did feel that the 250 better served if it was in the hands of the commission to spearhead whatever Bedminster is doing forward. So, you know, the Revolutionary War tie, obviously. So I'll just keep funneling things once we decide to everybody. And there's, at some point, we're going to need someone to take the lead here for the for the municipality for the 250th. I know Wendy Hickey's very interested in working on it. Steve?
At the risk of saying something that might get me volunteered, but an idea for next year's July 4th, only because we have the great stage for it. What if we made JVH, what if we brought a reenactor in on horseback coming down River Road and then found his way to the JVH and got off horseback as if he had just come from Philadelphia and brought a copy of the Declaration and read it.
I love it.
That's cool.
And then you can have everything just around that.
I love that too.
I mean, I know it realistically would have been days later, but they're bringing the news of the Declaration, and then we can have whatever accoutrement we want and reenactors and whatever, however you want to set it up, and then whatever goes around that, but that can be your event.
That's brilliant. Yep, that's perfect.
And we have people with horses in town. It's I don't know if the late Mr. Piancone's family, if there's a carriage that's of that vintage, but we got a lot of resources in that realm.
We certainly do. The Johnsons have a lovely carriage.
Yeah. So anyway, there's lots of
The
opportunities.
other thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Steve.
As far as American, especially since we have school people here. I keep pushing it. The Brick Academy has its own school program also. So I keep pushing, Rev and J have what they call revolutionary schools. History happened here. It's like a whole program where the schools sign up to be a revolutionary school. And then, the rest of it happens. So I think that's something definitely to consider as well, as part of the America 250.
That's great.
I wonder what day of the week July 4th is.
It's part of the go and the Rev and J. They're really trying to push it. And I think it just, well, for us, for the Brick Academy, I think it's a national because we are a early American schoolhouse. That's what the Brick Academy is.
Right.
So
Yes.
it is on Saturday next year. Which is good, I guess. We could conceive.
But it's kind of like signing up as an organization, right? They can sign up as a and then I think other things happen.
All right, so I'll just keep sending emails to everyone until you come up with a person that's going to be the main head of the 250th.
Great.
Okay?
You want to say something?
You're on mute.
It's key
This is Wendy. I'm very interested in the 250th. We're working on some ideas with the Historic Preservation Commission. And I'm also working with Steve Parker's wife, Caitlin. She's been writing articles for Clarence Dillon Public Library's newsletter. And she has lots of ideas for good topics to cover. So I'm excited about the 250th.
That's great. So that's the thing. So when you just mentioned the library, it's not just, should not just be all on the commission's shoulders. It's a group of everyone part. It's a partnership. But this is the Historic Revolutionary War home that's associated with it's really the 250th. So they would be taking the lead.
Right.
I have an idea for Bedminster School. I want to co-opt Field Day. Field Day is held in Miller Lane Park, right by our municipal building. And I really believe that Field Day 2026 should be a patriotic adventure. It involves students from every grade. Normally, when the HPC gets involved with this school, we only work with the fourth grade because they study New Jersey history. Field Day is an opportunity to work with every grade.
Yeah, I do want to add, we don't do field day that way anymore. I don't think the school has done that for a number of years. They do field day now. I guess my understanding is it used to be down at Miller Lane and run by the town. Now it's different days based on different grade levels, and it's at the school property. I don't know how that came to be, but I've been with the
What a
district
shame.
since, and it hasn't been that way in a while. I think it was because it was parent organized.
I'm showing my age.
I think it shifted to having to be like run by the school.
Yeah, it was parent organized, and I used to run it. I did it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped doing recreation, it kind of went to a different model. So
Yeah. So I think it's a great idea. I'm just even thinking, going back to what we were first talking about with the school events, to me, capitalizing on it being the 250th year is more of a justification than anything for the whole school to get involved. With the tours, or if you did another spring event here, to focus on the 250. I mean, that you could bring in so many Somerset County. I don't want to make it bigger than you want it to be, but.
So would the schools be able to, or want to have your students come on the Saturday, or is that?
Saturdays would be out of the question, like the schools wouldn't even be able to secure buses. But I
It
think
would have to be a weekday.
it would have to be a weekday, but I think if school districts know ahead of time, hey, there's a local place in the county, whether it's in their town or not, that are doing activities based around the 250th anniversary, I think.
So that could be, maybe it could be a different kind of school day where we just open the house and invite people to come. Of course, they have to let us know that they're coming, but we wouldn't have no one do the presentation, we wouldn't have the tent and the chairs, it's just put there, and then they can come and go as they please.
And
Sort of
sometimes
thing.
even it is a draw of a hot dog or a free little like magnet or something like that. And parents bring their kids in. It's like, oh, this is something fun to do. I don't mind giving $10 because this kept my kids busy for 30 to 45 minutes. And then they see it, and then the parents, you might get the parents drawn in to say, I want to come back.
Maybe it's an open house.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an open house.
But with the focus,
The focus on- right.
Yeah.
Right. Because generally, I know since Willow has signed up, like, not only the kids, I'm not sure who knows, with school and this is feedback, but a lot of the parents come, and they really, they enjoy it, so that was another means of traction of getting some interest from not only the kids, but also the parents, because they like to be there.
So would that be like May or June? Would June be too late?
I don't think whenever you have a nice warm day, so I think May or June. Could work out just fine.
Okay, so maybe we still do our spring day with the Somerville school that we normally do, but then have an open house school day, just inviting
Yeah, no, they're-
local districts, whoever wants to come kind of thing.
And don't forget, we've got Neil too from the rec department, who's not here today, but he's got lots of ideas and stuff, and he's got lots of connections, right, Robin? And probably with all your connections, but you should use the resources that we've got, and we will. And maybe in that.
even like start thinking like the encampments. We've always wanted to have an encampment here. We've had, Lamb's Artillery, which does a great job, right? Outside, they're wonderful. We use the, what is it? The North Jersey Brigade, is that what it is? That, does the cannons, they're an artillery brigade. We had them at the French Alliance Wall when we did that at Trump. Remember that?
You know them, Paul?
I know the second New Jersey region. I don't think
Yeah, so there's a lot.
But I don't
We
know
invite them
because-
all to come.
Yeah.
And not the same key date that everybody else is grabbing these groups, because they're gonna be very popular this year. But we have the space to have an encampment, which is wonderful.
If we could get Lansing out one on the same day as we have the open house, it would be awesome, because they could be set up outside, you know, we could do the outdoor cooking, you know.
Perfect. So good things that those are all.
And a lot of school districts, you know, too, would be more than willing to advert, it's most school districts and Friday folders, I know I'm a parent in Basking Ridge. We see things from local groups, you know, in the Friday folder, so. Again, parents are always looking for things to bring their kids to that are either free or
Exactly.
low cost.
It's fun stuff to do. So, you know, so you've got a bunch of good calendar items, a lot of good discussion that's starting. Just, you know, a couple thoughts is, so you've got, next on the list is to figure out who's gonna, you know, take over certain areas, or at least lead those certain areas, I should say, to keep everything organized, because that's the next big thing. But, also, I think, you know, re-messaging starting with the press release, which I know Larry said he's changing the press release a little bit. I did send it to you to take a look at.
Yeah.
And then, so the re-messaging, it's it's kind of rebranding, if you will. And then also re-engaging the list of folks that you guys have from your membership list, and former trustees, your honorary trustees, your, those folks all need to be engaged and hear the message, so you can get these people re-engaged again. Got to start with some of the basics, while still continuing to push forward on the calendar of events. So
They probably should be in that.
Right.
If Stephanie can get a hold, because I know she's been having trouble, getting into some of the files from Christina. But maybe she's been able to get into what our membership actually is. You know, those names that maybe they
Yeah.
haven't heard from us in a while. That they throw them into the loop too. If
She's
that
on
makes-
vacation this week. And see if we can get that together, even before the next meeting.
yeah, I think you just send everybody that press release. And
Yeah.
And
let them know, get the press release done and get it out there to everybody, and that'll start the wheels turning. And hey, here's our next, and then send them again. Here's the events we've got lined up so far, more to come.
Right.
And that's great. You just gotta get on that
Right.
stuff. So I think that's very good. I think you covered everything.
So as far as the chair, vice chair, treasurer, I don't know how people are, if people have interest in one of those roles or positions of the committee, people can think about it. It's probably better once we have Craig and have some, you know, the next meeting, we can consider that, and or at least have it for a topic of discussion. I think that, yeah, so. I know there's a lot of support here, and I know, as you can imagine, you know, the number that we have now, that are present tonight via Zoom or in person. Before, it would be anywhere from 5 to 7 people. Now, also, there was, Paula's husband, John, is very, very helpful. He's a reenactor as well. And we do get a lot of support internally from the family, spouses, family members.
They have no choice.
Yeah.
My hobbies are his hobbies.
Yeah. So anyway, think about that. Think about if there are roles that you see yourself in, obviously, whether that be chair, vice chair, treasurer. Right now, so everyone knows, Craig has committed to stay on through this year and beyond, as far as the grants, the accounting, any of the treasurer roles. But it doesn't mean that we can't start to develop someone in that position. Or in that position, because Craig has been, he's been, you know, with the board for some time and been an avid supporter and member. So I think that, you know, as we go through the meetings, people get to meet one another, people get to see strengths, where you feel you might be a good fit for, whether it be a chair for an event, whether it be the 250th or the Colonial Christmas. I think there's a great group of individuals with some great background that we all have some good reach. So. Anything else?
Okay, 2 seconds on this. A woman emailed this to me the other day after hearing about the house in the news. And they're part of a group called the Forgotten Victory Trail. And they come up with these kiosks around the county. And I'm just thinking, as I look at that could be, if we wanted to participate, that might be an event kind of thing, where we put the kiosk together. And if that here at the house or at River Road Park, somewhere in between, that would be something we could have an event around.
Yeah.
I told her I would pass the information. I know we're not quite there yet, but I just wanted to throw that in our mix of, here's another
Great.
thing we can.
She makes them.
No, she doesn't, she's part of it, that does, she makes stuff.
Like the walking trail that goes on.
Yeah.
This would be perfect.
I thought that would.
Yeah. And said it would be a good project for
Yeah.
scouts. That's great.
Participation I would take actually from, so if I know something very do, that we could be, you know, have a lot of very good luck. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. We don't have any good signage up around the house to tell you what you're looking at. We don't kind of like sign, but and I don't know if there was at some point. Because I know there were a lot of things in the past, I think we had pictures and sketches and architectural designs that seem to have disappeared. I mean, they're here, but we don't talk about them anymore. But I thought this might be fun to.
Great.
I should also add one thing, that John Seidel.
Yes.
Okay, so John Seidel, for everybody who's out there listening, John Seidel was one of the archaeologists. There were 3 archaeologists that work on the Puckham and Cantonment site, as well as the Vanderveer house. And John Seidel helped to assist with the video of General Knox riding his tours, and then a view of the Cantonment site here in Puckham. It's on the Jacobus Vanderveer house website. He is the one who gave you all the artifacts back that he has. He now has a historical Revolutionary War library that he'd like to donate to the Friends. He'd like to come up and help with any fundraisers that you're doing. He'd like to come up and give a presentation just to the board, to the commissioners, so everybody understands the history of the house and the historical importance of the artifacts that they found and what they actually mean. So if that's something we want to do for later in the year, we can certainly do that. Just keep that in the back of your mind. So sorry, I promised to do the plug.
Great.
So, do you know where the videos are that these guys did? Did you do one of them? I think we had 3 videos done for the house.
It's supposed to be on the website.
Are they on the website? Okay, because maybe you want to do something a little bit bigger with them, or have them play on a reel in the house when we're doing tours, because they seem to be been done pretty nicely.
Originally, we thought about putting them on iPads, and so the people that can't get upstairs can just hit the iPad and see the video, maybe more than, you know.
Great.
We already have 3 iPads here, right? We have 3.
That should be
All right,
fairly
do you want
easy.
to see if anybody has anything on the line to say?
Paul, do you have anything, any comments?
It was a great meeting, a lot of great ideas floating around. So I'm looking forward to all the positivity, but nothing that I have to add at this point.
Great. Super.
Oh, we just played the videos at office, maybe. I think it was.
No electricity.
Yeah, but I had, you went out, didn't
Do it like that.
Well, us, I guess, if you had a charger or something.
it last a while.
All right, so the next meeting is coming up at the end of August. Again, we'll just put some more structure to some of these events. We'll have something written up, typed up. And then you'll check back on this. And you'll follow from there.
What's the date of the next one?
Seven. In 2
So
weeks. Final Wednesday.
yeah, we're just gonna hit it fast and furious so we can just get things organized, so. Okay?
Great.
And Robin, can we consider you are still the communications go-between? Pretty much.
Yeah, I'll still be the communications go-between for now until we get, yes.
So maybe a suggestion, because I know we've got some things to do. We don't have everybody here, and I don't know if we'll have everybody on the 27th. But, you know, these leadership positions, these committees, maybe between now and the next time we meet, if people either want to call or email Robin, either if they want to volunteer for something, or if they may say, I think they want to volunteer somebody else, that might be a good idea, so that
Yes, have
we
a
can
list.
come to a meeting and maybe start racking and stacking and listing names.
Yep.
And move forward. And I can understand if people don't want to necessarily do it around a big table, but you know, we might be able to start gathering names.
That's great.
That's a good idea. We really
Thank
need
you,
it.
Steve. That's great. I'll send that out in an email. I'll remind everybody if they have any interest in any of the committees or commissions, committees or a leadership position, to please let us know and I'll put a list together. That's great. Thank you. All right.
Great.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Good night. Have a good evening.
Bedminster.